In America's cities, towns, and villages, there is a shortage of 4 million housing units. This is a crisis that local leaders cannot solve alone. That's why the National League of Cities creates meaningful opportunities for local leaders to come together with leading voices in the housing space to find innovative ways to increase the nation's housing supply. One such example is NLC's The Moment for Housing is Now Summit. Local leaders and housing advocates convened from across the country in Washington, D.C. for a full day's focus on increasing housing supply in the United States. Some of the topics covered at the summit included utilizing public-private partnerships to fund housing, the intersection of housing, health, and climate, how office-to-residential conversions are reshaping cities in this post-pandemic world, and the state of housing and its impact on cities.
We will never get the housing built in this country if we have our residents not understanding that times are different and that things are unfortunately more expensive and that wages didn't keep up with the rest of it.
This topic is front of mind for every mayor, city manager, village administrator across the nation.
Housing is the top issue in most cities around America, and it's certainly the top issue in Providence, Rhode Island. We're seeing dramatic price escalation. Young people are having a hard time finding an apartment. The dream of home ownership feels further and further out of touch, and long-term residents are being displaced because prices have gotten so high.
The thing that is so important right now with housing across the United States is that we have heard from communities from California to New York, from Florida all the way up to the Dakotas, and every city is saying the same thing, that we are in a critical state and a critical stage in which we need more housing.
City leaders also talked about the importance of coming together and partnerships.
We'll partner with anybody who wants to help us solve the problems.
It's so important to come together because we are in a housing crisis. We don't have enough homes for people. So whatever we can do, whatever tools we can think about and come together and utilize in our communities is critical.
This is the right time for us to have this conversation with other colleagues so we can make sure that we have our playbook together.
At the summit, Clearfield, Utah Mayor Mark Shepard joined D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser to commit to action beyond the summit, making this announcement.
We will work together to create sustainable housing ecosystems. You'll hear that word a lot from me. We want to be strategic and focus on financing and real estate and all the things that we need to produce and preserve more affordable housing.
A day well spent for city leaders that affirm the importance of partnerships to the ongoing preservation and production of housing supply.
Up north of our city, we've got a new development coming in of first-time homebuyer homes. There's 1,001 homes on that development. Would never happen without those partnerships coming together and finding infrastructure, finding solutions. And so I truly believe it's in those partnerships that we'll find the solutions.
From my perspective, housing is the most important issue going on in this country today. We have major issues when it comes to affordability. We have major issues when it comes to lack of supply. And so having conversations about this, frankly, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, it really is the most critical time to have these discussions, to share best practices, and talk about what we can do to address those issues.
As city leaders, we're always looking towards addressing big challenges like transportation, education, workforce development. Housing is core to all of the other issues that we're trying to address.
How can you create those collaborations across the aisle so that it's not about party, it's about what is the common goal and what is a common good here. Everybody needs a safe place to live, and it helps all of the outcomes that everybody potentially would want. It helps economic outcomes, housing, health outcomes, education outcomes.
I want to thank Clarence Anthony and the National League of Cities for convening us for this national discussion on housing, for bringing everybody here today to talk about what's so important in America's cities, what's working, what's not, and where we need to pivot in this post-pandemic world.
The moment for housing is now.
The moment for housing is now.
The moment for housing is right now.
The moment for housing is 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 now.